Hello, SAG-AFTRA artists. I hope you've all remained both healthy and safe. No doubt it's been a very strange time in our world over these past few months, and I hope you're all remaining clear-headed and focused because the world needs more of that right now. Here's the latest from our relief fund. We've distributed $4.8 million in emergency aid with hundreds of applications still in the queue. Applications are currently taking a week to process, so please remember to check the site for any updates. And for those who've applied, please know that help is on the way. Given what has transpired over these past few days, I would be remiss not to use this platform to offer a few thoughts. And before I begin, I would like to acknowledge our broadcasters and media professionals who are on the front lines covering this story. It's an important one, and we stand in solidarity as you shine a light on the gross mistreatment of African Americans and the institutions that perpetrate such hateful acts of oppression. Now, I know many of you are feeling the pain and frustration of what has happened in Minneapolis and other parts of the country. I feel it too, and have every intention of keeping the spirit and memory of George Floyd in both my heart and my actions. So I'm asking us to go high. I'm asking us to fight for George without resorting to violence. There is no doubt we have witnessed again a horrific injustice, but we must not cross the line and lose the moral high ground we need to ensure justice for the Floyd family. I'm calling for calm, so we can focus all of our energies on a call to action. We must channel our anger and frustration to enact real and lasting change. We must put a movement together where our faith can be restored and justice served. Let us practice peaceful, nonviolent protest rather than civil unrest. Let us continue the drumbeat of justice for George Floyd as we mobilize for the right that all of our ancestors fought and died for, the right to vote. Our call to action: remember Minneapolis. Remember George Floyd. Remember this moment. Mr. Floyd will not die in vain. Let's mobilize to show those who would silence us that we know where the real power lies: the ballot box. In the words of Martin Luther King Jr. and his favorite poet John Donne, we are all caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied by a single garment of destiny. And whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. For some strange reason, I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be. The rich man can never be what he ought to be until the poor man is what he ought to be. John Donne caught it years ago and placed it in graphic terms. No man is an island entire of himself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. And then he goes on toward the end to say, any man's death diminishes me because I am involved in mankind, and therefore never sin to know for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. I ask you to remember that in all that you do as artists, as allies, as sisters and brothers in the fight. Let's stay laser focused as we move forward. I believe in our ability as a society to be better, do better. And I believe in you and your abilities, efforts, and perseverance to help us get there. So until next week, stay safe, stay connected, and stay home. Grace and peace.